Hey everyone, welcome to biology. For the next few weeks, we're going to be studying genetics and heredity. So, hopefully, you all studied heredity and genetics in middle school life science. But that's been a while for a lot of you, so we're going to be doing a few days of review. And one of the first topics that we cover is the discovery of heredity. Like, how did we begin to discover how heredity works? So you guys can see here we've got this dude, Austrian monk named Gregor Mendel. So he lived at this monastery in what was Austria and is now the Czech Republic. And he was super into science. So he starts just studying the garden, and the garden has a bunch of pea plants in it in the monastery. Um, so he records all this data and he observes for a long time, and dude finally realizes that the babies of the pea plants that he's looking at, or the offspring is what we call babies, they have characteristics that follow certain patterns, right? So he looks at the parent pea plants, and then studies what type of traits their offspring have. So pea plants are really great for this because they have some great characteristics that can be different from generation to generation. So this chart shows you the pea itself can be wrinkled or like round. The inside can be green or yellow. You can have purple or white flowers. You can have really tall or short plants, and a handful of other things. So he realized that the parents could have certain traits, and then those traits could disappear for generations, and then reappear suddenly. He also noticed that some traits tended to be stronger than others and show up more often. So you can see here, this is sort of an example. If we have a parent pea plant that has green seeds, green peas, and a parent with yellow peas, we might expect that you'd get one of each or something in the offspring, or that maybe they'd mix together to get a light green or a greenish yellow. But that's not actually true. What he found is that all the offspring of peas with a green parent and a yellow parent ended up yellow. So that's interesting because that's not what we thought about genetics up to this point. We just assumed that if you took two colors of something and blended them together, you'd get something in the middle. But he discovered that's not always true. But the odd thing is that here in the second generation, right, you still have mostly yellow pea babies, which sounds weird, but you also see this green pea color showing up again. So this green parent's characteristic disappears for a while and then reappears in the second generation of offspring. So we're going to be talking a lot about how this works. This may not seem that surprising to you, but Mendel knew nothing about DNA or genes. We hadn't discovered that yet. We hadn't discovered chromosomes because microscopes weren't strong enough. So his observations really served as the starting point for modern genetics. So he's a pretty important guy, and we'll be referring back to things like traits, characteristics, offspring, and genetics throughout the next week or two. All right, you guys, thanks for watching, and